Hello. A bright sunny day in the UK. Actually, I think summer's come. I was in my garden yesterday. I've got it right at last. I met a gardener, a real gardener who knows what he's doing, and it looks delightful. Might it's cost me a fortune to have it done, but I'm sitting out there with a cup of tea, and where I live here is very, very quiet. A bit too quiet, really, probably. This is why I'm not getting institutionalised. It's too quiet. There's not a sound, not a person, not an animal really, not a sound, not a car, nothing at all. It's totally and utterly peaceful. And the sun was shining, and I'm very famous for blackbirds. You might think I'm a bit of a nut. I don't care. As somebody said some time ago, very reassuringly, say what you like and don't bother what people think. I think I worry too much about that. And I don't know any of you. You probably all think that I'm a bit of a nut. And I don't care. I probably am. Why? Why do I worry? So I think the topic today is about voices. Sound, because I don't know about you, but I'm beginning to find that some voices are really irritating me. I mean, really, yeah. I've never been very good with voices. I can't mix with crowds. I can't go into pubs. I can't. I know that's very exclusive of me, but if I can't, I can't. And I think it's because I do live on my own. I don't hear a voice from one day to the next, which is why I do these videos, I suppose, and why I put on television a lot. Well, no, I don't actually put it on a lot. I have some sound, you know. And I don't sleep at night because it's too quiet, so I bought myself a cuddly toy. And I got myself a tablet thing. I'll put music on and leave it on by my bed all night, but that's not very good. The sound's not very good. So I think the subject is about sound, but basically about voices as well. I did a video some time ago about sound. It wasn't very well received. I don't think many people are really ready for it, perhaps. I don't know. The Arcturian websites are now some very good websites with sound healing, and of course we are all sound. And I think it's finding the right frequency, you know, and I found pain healing particularly good for sound. So I think I'm doing this video really because I wasn't intending doing one today, but I've had an upset, and you know how upset I get sometimes, especially on my own. And I think it's okay to be upset. I don't judge it. I don't judge it. And unlike some of these beings out there, they should be perfect. But I think today it was this morning, or was it? Yeah, this morning or yesterday, I can't remember. I watched the internet, obviously, like we all do. But I think the internet is getting to me. It's a bit. I'm jumping around, aren't I? I'm jumping around. I was going to finish the story about the blackbirds. I was sitting in my garden, very peacefully, quite. You couldn't hear a sound, and suddenly this blackbird hopped down right in front of me to eat some crumbs, and he spoke. It's just a week home, and he spoke. I said hello. We had this little chat. Some people can speak to animals, and I know I can. Whether they understand me or not, I don't know. But they do seem to respond. It sounds silly, but I think when you're on your own, you do lose it slightly because you have to have somebody, and I haven't got a pet. So the blackbirds are my friends, and whenever I'm feeling depressed or sad, the blackbirds will come, or a cat will turn up. Cats are amazing. I had a cat once who sat outside my bedroom window for 2 days when I was feeling very upset. Stray cat, I don't know who he was. He just sat there for 2 days, and then when I began to pick up, he moved off. So animals are very, very in tune and very receptive to our feelings, and I expect a lot of you know that. They've got pets, but they're amazingly in tune. Horses. The other day I had this wonderful horse in my mind, totem power animals. I'm not sure I've done a video about that, but they come to help us. And I've got a power animal with a horse, and he appeared out of nowhere in my mind. Now I'm not clairvoyant, as you know. I don't see people but animals, because I love them. I love them when I trust them, and they're pure love. They don't have minds to hurt us, do they? So back to their sound and voices. I thought, what am I going to talk about? And here I am rabbiting on. But the voices, for me, I do find some women's voices particularly. That's probably a lot to do with my mother, who's always yelling at me. But I'm just going to check the video. I think it's coming on. Yes, I think it's working. So it's male voices I prefer, because my dad had a lovely voice, and I think a lot of men have quite soft voices unless they're shouting at you, of course. You can imagine what a lot of yelling at me in my life, and it's very sad, isn't it? Because I'm a quiet little soul, really. I mean, I can do yelling when I want to on my own, but genuinely speaking, I'm quite a quiet, soft little person, you know, and it frustrates me when, well, of course the world is noisy. The world is noisy. We're very noisy. Apparently the astral plane's full of noise. And wherever you go, there's noise, isn't there? You could be sitting quietly like I do, and somehow suddenly a lawnmower starts up, or it's almost machinery, isn't there? Airplanes and stuff like that. But I'm very lucky. I'm in a very, very quiet place. It's probably a bit too quiet, so it's probably oversensitised me to human voice. And if somebody suddenly comes by, or who somebody makes a visit, which they don't very often, you know, repairman, I jump because I'm not used to seeing people around me and this voice business. So anyway, this upset. The internet, that's where I was leading. The internet to me is getting very tacky. It's very tacky. I do love it. There's lots of very good stuff on there, but especially the healing side of things. But some of the stuff that comes out, the channeling, I'm horrified, because as you know, I may put the link on actually about my channeling 40 years ago. I have done it. I'm very good at it. But I don't do it. I think I'm doing it all the time anyway. They're coming through. Do you know what I mean? But you have to somehow let go a part of your mind anyway, because the beings have to use your mind to come through. And of course, their voices are not their voices. They're canned. And some of the stuff, I'm horrified, because I work with the masters. I think I've said that before to you. I work with them, not for them, with them. I have a group with me all the time that I'm reporting back daily as to what's happening down here, because they can't be here. And I have a lot of very, very high beings that I've worked with in the past for various reasons. I have a mission in this lifetime. I'm not just saying that, it's just to let you know that I do know what I'm talking about with this, because some of the masters are absolutely atrocious. Now, the hierarchy is meant to be full of ascended masters and higher, of course. Ascended masters are what we're all heading for. I don't understand it, how that people can be ascended when they haven't even gone through the initiations, but that's just my personal thing that's going on at the moment. But some of these beings are absolutely amazing. They really are beautiful, beautiful beings, full of light and beauty. But one or two, like everywhere you go, one or two, there's always a bad apple in the wood pile. In the wood pile, what are you doing? You know what I mean? In the barrel, whatever. And I come across them quite. I don't know. I question this, whether I come across them because it's my mission to suss them out, you know, because a lot of them shouldn't really be there at all. I don't know how they get there. They've still got their own individualities, their own personalities. Generally, they're supposed to lose all that emotional stuff, and they're compassionate, loving beings. Most of them really are, but I've met one or two. Far from it. They seem to be from the other side, and I think a lot of them perhaps are, you know, double agents, as you might say. And I know there's something called the Cold Light Matrix, which I've also been in, which is a completely different hierarchy with no love. Exactly the same as this one, exactly the same, but the beings in it are not loving or kind. So I've been with them for quite a time. So I do know what I'm talking about, and I'm getting very frustrated with some of the stuff on the internet. I mean, it's appalling. I mean, and some of them are very high beings. I mean, the recent one, I'm not going to use names, but very loving, lots of wisdom, lots of this, but it comes across as really, and what the word is really, bossy. I think it's bossy and judgmental, and I'm sure it's not meant to be like that, but it does come across. This particular, well, there's two particular ones. You see, people, I'm not sure how much I trust channeling. I don't really trust it at all. Sometimes it's quite good. I'm very, very, very intuitive, and because I've done it before and I work with them, I can sense the truth. And a lot of people can't do that, and I'm very concerned that they're being taken for a ride. Some of the stuff that comes across, I mean, I think that's one what a master would not say that. A master would not say anything judgmental or critical. A master is pure, loving and kind, and if they say other stuff, it's not a master. And I picked out one or two. Michael's one. Everybody's got Michael. Poor man. I don't know whether they can stop it, whether they can stop people using their name, but they just pick a name out of the hat. Anybody will do, you know. Oh, we'll do some channeling, and they may or may not be willing. I know Michael asked me once, but I haven't got a good enough place here for a master of his degree, angel really of his degree. I don't feel good enough, and I'm not feeling good enough today for lots of reasons, because this particular master, he wasn't speaking to me directly, I know that, but what was coming through was, You are responsible for everything that happens to you. I'm fed up with hearing it, fed up with it, fed up with it, fed up with it, because I don't care what they say. It may appear to be that. I know from my personal experience, if I've been abused by a master, and I have been, is that my choice? Was it my choice to be thrown under my car, to be bruised and hurt? You know, all these questions. I don't know if people question it enough. I don't agree we are responsible for everything that happens. The things such, I think as Master Dwal says, there are such things as accidents. Things do happen. People have choices as well. If somebody wants to hurt me, I wouldn't say it's my choice to, hey, come on, hit me. You know, I think there's somewhere in between this. But this particular being was stolen forth, and the voice, well, of course, it wasn't a male, it wasn't a human voice, it was a tin voice. Da 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 da. I thought, who the hell is he talking to? You know, we are down here, human beings, struggling, really struggling with our feelings and our emotions and everything that happens in life. We are doing our bloody best, you know, and I'm fed up with them judging. I'm sorry, I mustn't get in a state, but I feel very upset this morning that I've sat there and I thought, what? I can see what he's trying to say, and it may have been him. I don't know. I didn't feel it was, but it was the voice it was coming through. It was so dictatorial. That's the word, dictatorial. Masters, true masters of love and light, do not speak like that. They don't even speak at all, actually, in my experience. They don't say much at all. They don't talk to me. I never have a master talking to me. You get one word or two sometimes if you're lucky, but you don't get conversation. You do not get conversation. They are beyond words, you see. They talk in light language. They don't talk in words. If a master speaks with you in words, don't trust it. They don't have words. They don't know how to use words. Well, they pass it. And I think I do get thoughts and stuff, but it's not words. I would like some words. So here is this master speaking through this tinned voice with great authority and dictatorial attitude, like a traffic warden. I always use traffic warden. Somebody, you know, there was no love there, no caring, just this rule. Everything's your fault. Rule. I'm fed up with hearing it. Fed up with hearing everything. I'm blamed for everything. Dolores Cannon talks about it. I mean, and she's very gentle and kind, and I can see the principle behind it. But when someone's telling you with this horrible, nasty tin voice that you're a bad person, you know, it's not on. I cried so much I went back to bed. I just got out of bed. And I saw I've got to talk about this because people have got to be aware of who they're listening to. If a voice doesn't feel right, don't take it on board. It's just a piece of machine. And somebody's coming through somebody's mind to a machine. Da da da. It's like the Bible. It's misinterpreted. It's been interpreted so many times. How do you know what the truth is? You have to trust your intuition. You have to really trust it. And some of the comments, I mean, they come forward with all the. It's not even the real picture. It's made up. It's a graphic, and they are lovely. But the comments, thank you for your message, heart, heart, heart. Thousands of. I thought, do they know who they're thanking? Do they know this being? It's just a voice through a tin box. Do they know this being? I mean, it must be difficult for them because they're so high and so pure and so loving. To actually come down to this level must be a real challenge. You know, they've got to bring their energy into this energy field, which is very dark at the moment. So they've got to use somebody's voices and a machine and all that. And a rapidity. God, that's a good word. There's one woman in particular. Hang on a minute. You know, I'm going a bit deaf here. I know we've got subtitles, but hang on a minute. Why are you going at such a speed? What's the purpose? Is it really that fast in spirit? I'm getting carried away. I better go. I would appreciate some comments from time to time if that's all right with you. And I'll probably think no, it's not. No, it's not. I mustn't say that. It's important to alternatively discriminating. Don't just listen with an open mind and take on board everything you hear. It's not always the truth. B, it's not from a human being. It's from a spirit that's using another human being who's got a mind and a machine. So just don't respond to it. That is love and light, because it probably isn't. God bless.